Good morning. I'm level-headed. I have darkness exposed here, and I have sluggish sleuth in the background, making sure that everything works correctly. Today, we're going to be covering the missing person case of David Tate. And just give me 1 second here, and we will get a picture up. And we are streaming on 3 different platforms at the same time, making sure that this works. We do have David's mother here. She will be coming here in a little bit. I just want to give you an introduction here. Share my screen. All right, here is David Tate. I want to read something here for you guys. All right, little backstory here. This is the living document. Kent State, this is the backstory to David that went missing in May 10th, 2009. Kent State University campus police called David's mother on May 10th, 2009 to inform her that her oldest son, David, Allan Tate, had not been seen at his dorm room or classes for approximately 7 days. His mother and his mother's sister, which would be David's aunt, filed a missing persons police report with the Akron Police Department. He left all of his clothing, a social security card, a campus ID, cell phone, and laptop in his dorm room. A handwritten note was later found by another student. The note said, "Don't look for me because you won't find me." The original NamUs entry was erroneously removed, and his case was closed by law enforcement about 2 weeks after he went missing. It was reported by another law enforcement agency to the Akron Police Department that David had been arrested. However, no proof of the arrest exists. Privacy concerns, in quotations, were cited as the reason the police couldn't provide proof of the arrest when pressed. Adults can go missing, is all they would say. David was never found / located and hasn't been seen or heard from since May 3rd, 2009. His social security number has not been used since he went missing. David's family printed missing person flyers and hung them around the campus, but soon noticed the flyers were being taken down. David, a gifted student who graduated from high school early, was attending Kent State University on a full academic scholarship and was living in a single-person dorm room. At the time of his disappearance, David was employed at Buffalo Wild Wings in Kent, Ohio. He didn't leave any paychecks behind, and he stopped showing up for work around the time he went missing. Without calling or speaking to a supervisor, World of Warcraft is his favorite computer game, and he spent most of his free time online playing. David didn't have a driver's license, nor did he own a car at the time of his disappearance. David has a visible round brown mole birthmark on his anterior left side of his neck, close to his trachea. He has a bold black exclamation point on his forearm and a bold black question mark on the other. It is unknown which tattoo was on the right or left. He has an X-shaped autopsy scar tattooed on his chest, an abdomen section. David's clothing was cut up and shredded and left among his things in his dorm room. His jacket coat was also left behind. The only item that was noticeably missing among David's things was his backpack that had a visible Jack skeleton logo on it. David used a prepaid track phone that only had voice capabilities. It didn't have a text message or internet. His phone was found in his dorm room. His expensive laptop was his prized possession. that he used for college coursework and gaming. His mother is adamant he would never willingly leave it behind because it is his primary means of communication. It was found among his personal possessions in his dorm room, but is now unavailable for forensic examination as it was stolen from his mother's storage unit a few years ago. Here he is with his mother. This is an older picture. His most recent picture. Hold on here 1 second. I will bring it up onto the screen here. Most recent picture was from 2011. There was a driver's license that was found before we have the mother come up here. Hold on 1 second. All right. Here is his most recent picture, which was NamUs wants to use this. It's a 2011 Ohio driver's license picture. So there is a picture of him. If you guys have seen him, please call 911 if you see him. His mother's really worried about him. And today we're going to let her tell the story and the journey that she has been on. We're going to get into it right now. And I greatly appreciate everybody that's here in order to get this out there amongst the people in the community and the missing posters and places out there. We need to share. Always hit the thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Darkness Exposed, please subscribe there as well. If you're not subscribed to Sluggish Sleuth, please subscribe there as well. And here we are going to welcome in Paula Tate. This is David's mother. And I will bring her on screen now. Hold on here 1 second. All right. I added you in. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can hear you well. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfect.
All right. I got told this by, if you guys aren't subbed to True Crime with Sunshine, True Crime with Sunshine is the one that brought me into a group of people that are looking for David Tate. And if you're not subscribed to her, please subscribe to her. She has put me in connection with a good group of wonderful people. What I want you to do, Paula Tate, is we need to get to know who David is and what he liked to do. So can we start with like his childhood, growing up, like his favorite things that he liked to do?
Yes, he was a very quiet child. For the most part, he was at a very early age. He tested through the roof on intelligence level and everything. So he was very, very advanced for his age, book smart wise. Video games was his big thing because back then they were just coming out, you know, and he just really did that. He did excellent in school, but he was pretty much a loner. He stuck to himself until he got older, like teenage years. Then he had a bunch of friends and stuff like that, but didn't ever really have a problem with them at all when he was little. Just pretty quiet boy.
Did he play any sports, or he just was more into gaming?
No, he was not a sports person at all. I believe he did soccer for a half a season when he was really little. And he wasn't very good at it. Exercise and him, or manual labor and him, he couldn't do it.
So
we used to joke.
Go ahead.
We used to joke in the family that he had two speeds: slow and stop. That was it.
So you would say that he's more of like a computer type of person, like to read books, like to research and look into history of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He studied a bunch of a lot of like the religions that are all over the place, mythical gods, things like that really piqued his interest to learn about all that stuff. And when World of Warcraft came out, that was it. That, and I think it was called Final Fantasy, but World of Warcraft was his game of choice.
So he graduated high school early, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where did he grow up at?
We moved around a lot due to me. You happened to, for jobs and better living. He graduated high school at Oak Hills High School, and it's in Cincinnati. He just graduated honors. I mean, just everything, because he got offered the scholarship for Kent State. I believe it was his junior year. And he only had to do one class his senior year, and he was done.
Okay. The school he went to was a decent sized school. Like he graduated with like 1,000 people.
Oh yeah,
the
1,000 people. Graduating class was 686 kids.
Okay. What was? Let's get into. What did he like to do for fun? He just liked to play video games, or he liked to go out to movies? He liked to go places with friends, or he pretty much kept to himself?
Mostly kept to himself. If his friend, if he was with his friends, they would hang out at the house, playing games, because my house was known as the house where, kids had a safe space to go if they needed, if they needed food or, anything else. So, it's kind of like I picked up the strays.
Yeah. So let's get in. So what year did he graduate? So that would have been 2008. 2008 he graduated. So yes. He graduated the first semester and then left and did a first semester at college, or he waited and did not go to school. So in 2008 he graduated. Go ahead. 2008
he graduated. And he didn't go to Kent State until that following fall, or he left in, I think it was the end of August, because he had to be checked into his dorm room in 2008. He did. Yeah. And then at Christmas time, he came home to Cincinnati. Then he went back, and then 2009. And I got the call on Mother's Day of 2009 that he was gone. So he only lasted one full semester in college before he disappeared.
Did you, at the time when he was going to college at Kent State, you would go and pick him up all the time, or he pretty much just went there and he stayed there by himself and you stayed? I don't know how far Kent College was. Kent State was.
It was pretty far from me. It was about 5 hours. So what I would do is I would drive to Lima, Ohio, where my sister and my family live. And it was just 2.5 hours away. And then they would drive from Lima to Akron to go pick David up at school for Thanksgiving break, Christmas and Easter. And then that way we just met in Lima instead of me having to drive 5.5 hours, to get to the college and then drive 5.5 hours back and then drive to Lima. So we did it that way for all the visits that he did. He came home. He didn't come home for Thanksgiving. He only came home for that Christmas and Easter.
Okay. So there was a means of transportation. Did he call you all the time? Like, would he call you? Or just... Go ahead.
Yeah, he would call a lot, about once a week, twice a week. If he was having some issues like with the studies, or something like that, or just to, check in, because he knows, I was a worrywart because he was so young, going into this very adult atmosphere at the college.
Yeah.
Then I noticed as time went on for his visits, he was slowly changing into something that I didn't recognize as my kid, with the tattoos, the piercings, it was like he changed overnight.
Do you think he fell into a group of friends that changed overnight, changed him overnight?
He never, on his 2 visits, when he was home, he didn't really talk about the college, or anything like that. He said he just didn't want to talk about it. He was, just visiting, and he's on break. So I always respected, his wishes, as well as my other sons. If they didn't want to discuss something, then I wouldn't push it too hard. Yeah. But no one would give me any information, me or my family. We spent a couple days up there at Kent State. Nobody, the school wouldn't let us talk to any of his friends that were like anybody that was in the dorm, or anything. They would not let us talk to anybody. They wouldn't even let me in his dorm room to get his stuff. I had to leave, and it was a week later, they called me, Kent State called me and said I could come pick his stuff up. They already went through the room, emptied the room out, put it in like a big laundry bin, and then had it sitting outside when I got up there. Nobody would talk to me. Absolutely nobody.
Wow.
And the police department just looked at us like they didn't even want to make a report out. Their philosophy was adults can go missing. This is a waste of time. I know he was an adult, but he was a very young-minded adult. And after all these years, I still can't get any answers. I looked for him for many years, on my own. I'm not very tech savvy or anything. And really, the internet wasn't as popular and easy to do as now. And I get nowhere. So I just gave up after a while. I couldn't handle the heartbreak and stuff anymore, because it's very, 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 very hard to deal with. Only here lately have I been able to mentally prepare myself to be ready to try to find answers. I just want some answer, whether he is alive or not. I just want an answer. And if he is alive and he happens to see this, just let us know that you're alive. Let us know that you're okay. If you do not want to have anything to do with this, I understand that. I just need to know. I need an answer one way or the other.
Does he have brothers and sisters?
He has a half brother. My youngest boy, his name is Dylan. He just turned 26.
No contact or any, like, were they close or no?
Oh, no, they did not like each other the whole time growing up.
Okay.
I think the age difference made it really, it was just hard. They never really bonded.
Okay. So we're at 2009. Goes missing on, what was it, May 3rd? You didn't get notified until May 10th.
May 10th is when they called me.
Yeah. So then on May 10th, when did you get to the actual school? Like, when
got there that Monday morning, the next day.
Okay.
I went up to Lima, and my whole family, we all loaded up, and everybody went up to the college.
Okay. Was there, but they wouldn't let you go anywhere near any of it, right?
Nope. Would not. None of the dean wouldn't talk to us. Nobody would. They just, couldn't do anything because they considered David a legal adult. We were banging our heads. Me and the security officer had words, because they wouldn't give any information other than we haven't seen him for 7 days.
How were his grades? Hey, Paula, this is Joe with Darkness. So sorry we have to meet under these circumstances. What were his grades before he disappeared?
They were pretty good. I think he was starting to, I don't know. He was always the smartest kid in class. I think when he hit college, he realized he wasn't the smartest kid in class because his grades weren't how they were in high school. And I warned him he had to keep a certain grade point average to keep his scholarship.
Right. Right.
But he did pass the first semester, and then he disappeared, the second semester. But It wasn't anything near as like how good he was in high school. You could tell that he was having some issues with some of it.
Sure. Okay.
I just know from experience of myself going to college that your home life, and then when you go to college, it's a different atmosphere. It's like you're free to do what you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get mixed up with the wrong people or the wrong crowds, and you don't have mom and dad there while you're at school, so you have to make your own decisions in what you do, and not everybody always makes the best decisions. And I'm not saying that that's the case here, but did you see any? I don't know how to put it. Any? Obviously, he completely changed, right? Because we saw the picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That picture here with my sister that you have up on the screen, that was Christmas, when he came home to visit at Christmas. And then when we seen him at Easter, mind you, it was, within a couple months, he had his hair dyed, piercings all over his face, all the tattoos, piercings down below, and just a totally different attitude as well. It wasn't just, his outer look. It was just like his inner, it was just like he was changing into something that wasn't him. At least that's what it seemed like to me. And obviously, my sister, we all talked about it, that he was so different.
So
it almost sounds like somebody, he got under the influence of maybe not some good people.
I've been thinking about that over the years, thinking that was probably, the case. At least that's a good scenario for one.
But just a possibility. Let's see. Where the Wind Blows, she made some good points. Here, I may have misgendered Where the Wind Blows. My apologies. I'd be hitting up Pennsylvania Facebook groups, college or not, like gaming groups, the buy, sell, trade. Especially if there's groups for Kent State students, and get the student population pushing and ruffling the right feathers.
Well, right now I have in place trying to do the Freedom of Information Act to get paperwork to see what they still have on record. And I'm going to do it to Kent State, as well as the Akron Police Department. So that way I can get some answers.
Yes.
At least from that standpoint, it just takes time, and, I've got, I'm doing, the best I can. I got a great group of people behind me, just like you guys and the other people. It takes time to be able to get everything in order to do that. And I figured the Freedom of Information Act, they have to give me something.
So it's been 12 years, right?
Yes.
So how old was he when he went missing?
Just turned 19.
Just turned 19. So then he would be...
He's 32 now.
32 now? Okay.
Yes. He was born April 4th, 1990.
Okay. So he changed completely. Did he stop from Christmas to Easter? Did he stop calling less to home?
I noticed that he would just use a text. He would do a text message, or something, but not near as much as what it would be. Our actual last conversation on the phone we had, the college sent his grades to my house. And I noticed that his grades were slipping, and that's when I had to talk with him. He's got to get the grades up, and he's got to quit doing what he's doing because he's going to lose his scholarship. And we didn't, it wasn't an argument. It wasn't, anything. I was just letting him know what could happen. And that was the last conversation I had with him.
And that was when, do you remember when that conversation was?
It'd be the end of April, I would say. Yeah, because he was home for Easter. And it was like a week or so later is when I got the mail from Kent State.
Okay.
My timing may be a little off, but this was a long, for me, it's a long time ago. And I try to remember, dates and stuff the best that I can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to piece everything together. We'll come back to this here in a second because I wanted to get into, he worked at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Did he work there the whole time that he was there? Like the whole time he was in school, he worked there, or it started after Christmas?
It started after Christmas or after Thanksgiving, I believe. I talked to the manager, and so I believe it was after Thanksgiving, maybe the beginning of December. He hadn't been there very long. He was a cook, evidently, cook slash dishwasher.
And I don't know if you still have contact with that manager at all, but I would be interested to know if his drastic piercings and tattoos and everything happened within like 4 days, or it happened in like it took a couple weeks for him to get all of his tattoos and all of his piercings. The reason why I ask is because of the drastic change. And something obviously
he told me that the guy that did his tattoo was somebody at the college, I believe. Especially the one that was the autopsy scar all over his chest and stomach. But I don't believe he ever said a name, but it was just somebody that did tattoos on the campus.
Did he ever, when he was a kid, if he ever got frustrated or was disappointed in himself or didn't want to be a disappointment to you, would he like disappear or hide?
No.
Like, as a kid ever growing up? Like if he did something bad and he would hide from you? No?
Nope. That's why I say this is so suspicious, and it just so unlike the boy I raised. It was just totally out of character for him.
Yeah. What was he going to school for? Do you know what he was trying to become, or he just didn't know yet?
He hadn't picked yet. He was going to get his general classes out of the way, so he was just doing that. I think he was looking into going into some kind of computer studies. Is what he was really, that was his interest, like web design, gaming, something along them lines.
Okay. Do you think is there? I haven't done the research on this, but I know that you have a great group of people. The one is missing in Toledo. I was watching on TikTok. If you guys have TikTok, there was a podcast on this. They did go over a bunch of stuff over there, and definitely check that out. What I want to get into is I lost my train of thought for 1 second. Hold on. I want to get into is there other missing people that have happened from Kent State at all?
Oh, absolutely. We all went digging it down the rabbit hole, so to speak, and the wonderful ladies that are working with us. It was wonderful. There was actually quite a bit of other missing people around the same time, either before or after David. One was, I think it was a councilman's son, 2 weeks after David. There's stories and cases and cases and cases, and what gets us is that they say the same thing. Adults can go missing anytime they want, or they live by themselves. 2 of them had their own private dorm rooms like David did, went missing. Basically the same, almost exactly the same situation, the same stories, the same everything that David did. We just found all this stuff out here in the past few weeks.
Do you think he may have gotten into drugs?
Miss Jody, I would have no idea. He was a pothead. He did smoke pot. As for the other stuff, I would have no idea. I really, really wouldn't, because he was so far away from me, and we only seen him twice. I don't know what he was doing, and unless he told me, none of us would have an idea.
Yeah. Here's another good one. I'm going to have my son look around on social media sites. He's very tech savvy. Thank you, D. Walsh.
Thank you very much. My other son did that for a long time. Used David's World of Warcraft name and signed in to try to see if he could find his brother, anywhere. He says over the years he's attempted to do it many times, trying to find him anywhere on social media, and he couldn't find him. But, now social media is a lot bigger and broader than what it was years ago.
And I just put the Facebook group in the chats. I just wanted to make sure that you can all go there and access information. If you find stuff, it's another way for you to connect. It's another way.
It's a great group. I hope people come on and they can get any and all kinds of information, any questions that they have. I think we've got everything covered. And then I keep giving updates on new things that information we find or don't find, and stuff like that. The more I just want to get the word out so we can get some finality. Thank you, Miss D.
David, I don't know what that was in regards to. Pennsylvania is
yeah, I saw that, and that's another concern of mine as well. If he did get involved with the wrong people and happened to go down a path of addiction, with the war on drugs is everywhere, but even more than heroin now, it's fentanyl that is really the scary thing.
Yeah, it's up here in Vermont.
9 years ago, it wasn't as proliferant. It's not as widespread. Couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, I can't answer anybody's question on that. I've thought about that, for many years. Thought he got kidnapped many years. Thought that, he's dead in a ditch so many years. All the scenarios that, a mother can think of going through your head every day.
Absolutely. I can't imagine the pain that you're going through. I mean, as I'm a mom, my kids aren't college age, but, gosh, my heart goes out to you, Mama Bear.
Thank you. I just, like I said, I had to quit for a while, even trying to actively look, or I didn't even talk about it because I just couldn't handle the pain anymore.
Yeah.
Only recently here, I got the mental stability and everything else to actively try this again. My health isn't the best. I've got some severe brain injuries and things like that. And I'm starting to lose a lot of my memories and focus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it just makes you kind of reflect to try to finish what we started back in 2009.
Right.
If knowing him growing up, if he was, so you said that he smoked pot. Big deal. 99% of America smokes. So my question is that something that he would hide from you?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No, so, I didn't. He started smoking pot in high school, and I chose my battles. I didn't want to, he was 17 with the first time I busted him with pot. So as long as he didn't smoke it in the house, smoke it around me because I don't like it, I just let it go because I was picking my battles and he could have been doing way worse things than smoking pot and playing video games.
Well, that was what I was going to lead into. So let's say, but he knew that, right? So he knew if he was into other harder drugs that it wouldn't be acceptable by you, right?
Oh, absolutely not. He knew that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that
I wouldn't throw him out on the streets or anything like that, but we would definitely have to have a come to Jesus meeting and he'd have to stop that behavior.
Yeah. Well, then I think it's very important for you, if that was the case and you didn't want to be a disappointment, David, if you're listening or you're watching this or you see this later on, it doesn't matter what you're into or what you're doing or anything. The biggest thing is for you to reach out to your mother. Go to that Facebook page. There is a phone number on there for you to call to get in contact with her. And she just wants to know that you're all right. If you are out there. So It's an easy little simple thing to do. If you can't get in contact that way, there's all these other resources that can help you out there that, I mean, you can just go to a local police department and tell them, hey, my mother thinks I'm missing, and can I get in contact with her? There's other ways to do it. Do you think so? I've been watching you guys go down your rabbit holes, and I'm just going to throw this out there. You said that your son was not like a physical person, not like
No.
didn't like manual labor, didn't like sports necessarily. But if he was really into games and stuff, right? So he was really
Yes.
like into the tech type of stuff. So would he be the type of person that would go play sports if it allowed him to play his video game or allow him to do his computer stuff?
I
No?
don't believe so. I really don't. He just was never into any kind of sports. I was always a big football nut, watching my Dallas Cowboys. And he could care less, any sport. He never watched it, wasn't entertained by it, none of that.
Well,
But
my
he
point
changed so much.
is,
I don't know what he would be doing now. I have so many unanswered questions. I can only answer from, back when, last time I seen him.
so the reason why I question this is because some people think, the rabbit hole that I see that you guys are going down right now is checking military stuff. So the reason why I'm asking these questions is when he came home for Easter, did he seem like standoffish to you guys, or he was like,
I'd say a little bit. He was a little bit, but he loved seeing his aunts. You know what I mean? And they always made him smile and things like that. And I was so busy. We were getting food together, and I'm busy chasing his brother around and everything else. But he just seemed really different, aloof. I think would be more, what I would think.
Yeah, the reason why I asked about all the physical characteristics is because I see you guys are going down a rabbit hole of the military, which could be a possibility.
Well,
we don't know.
Dave on the roster for the ROTC program. That's why, thinking of that, and then the information we got from NamUs, however you say it, the lady said that she gave me the picture, and the only information that she would say was that he joined the military in 2009 and was discharged in 2011. Wouldn't tell me which branch, wouldn't tell me any information. And then told the the ladies that, working on this, to knock it off and to take any post down concerning him. So that sounds a little fishy to me, I guess. And I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist.
So NamUs told you that he went to the military in 2009 and he was discharged in 2011?
Yes. Now, the only thing I could think of, if you get a discharge, only 2 years into your, contract or whatever they call it, it's either for medical reasons or you got dishonorably discharged. But somebody looked in the records, that could do the military. I don't know if you've seen it or not. His name doesn't show up in any. None.
Yeah, I know. I did see some of that stuff, but I just wanted to put that out there. So you're trying to do whatever you can. And
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said before, I don't want, I just want to know what he's doing. David, if you see this, just call that number. You can do it anonymously. You can do it without being tracked, traced, or anything. You know how to do it. Even if you don't want to talk to me, talk to your Aunt Ronnie. You love your Aunt Ronnie. Just let us know something.
Yeah. So the lady from NamUs was saying that he still had an Ohio driver's license, which at the time in Christmas in 2009, did he have a driver's license then?
Nope, not that I know of. He never
Was
showed
it
it because
something?
with all his IDs and stuff, he cut them all up in little pieces. So he had an Ohio state ID, just a state ID, and his social security card and his campus ID were all cut up in little itty bitty small pieces and put in a Ziploc bag.
Okay. I just want to take one moment for the people that are coming in. We're streaming on 3 different streams. We're trying something new. We're on Sluggish Sleuth, Darkness Exposed, and Level Headed. For anybody that's out there watching this on repeat, watching it anywhere else, we all have different subscribers, and we have some of the same subscribers as well. But I figured we'd reach a bigger audience by streaming on 3 different platforms.
And I am beyond grateful. I am beyond grateful that you are doing this for me and my family.
Yeah, well, it's important, and I'm just going to tell you straight out. I was nervous of doing this because what if your son just doesn't want to speak with you and he's not really missing? Or what if there's another reason, a professional reason behind the reason why he's not here? Those are my concerns. And I told you them before. And we're not going to get into one of them. But I don't think that's why I wanted to learn who he was as a person and how he grew up. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't him running away because he didn't like his family and he just wanted to be left alone and out on his own. And I don't see that to be the case. And I'm just really confused by this one. It's very, so you got him entered back into the NamUs or the NetMic, is it NetMic? NCIC? Like you're trying to get something right now. What is it that you're trying to do? You're trying to get.
We got to get an active, according to the lady from NamUs, we have to have an active report filed with the police department because, they closed it all them years ago. I cannot file for it up here in Vermont because it's not the state that he was missing from. So my sister Veronica is on our next day off, or when she can arrange it, is going to go up to Akron Police Department and refile a missing persons. So we have an active report to send to the lady from NamUs, and then she will put his information back into the system. But she will not do it until we have a police report that it was filed again. So that's where we're at on that stand.
But he's never spoken to anybody in your whole entire family.
No, nobody.
Do you know who the last person was that he talked with? Like,
I think it was me. I think it was me when we talking about his grades.
Okay. So, do you know if he cut up his IDs? Did he cut up all of his IDs?
They were all in a little Ziploc bag.
Did he cut up his social security card?
Yes.
Did he cut it up too?
Yes. His state ID, his social security card, and his campus ID.
Do you still have contact? Do you still have contact with the Buffalo Wild Wings that he used to work at?
No, last time I seen him was the second time when I had to go back up to get his stuff that the school packed up, and just made a check-in to see if maybe he checked in, because the manager said if he ever called, he would let me know. So we stopped when it got David's stuff loaded up, and we stopped there before we left town, and he didn't try to contact anybody. I guess the manager talked to the employees, that David was, kind of talking to, and all that stuff. You know how friendly work environments can be in a restaurant, and he hadn't contacted anybody.
Yeah, Terry brought up a good point. he would not get in any trouble if he went to the police and said, hey, this is me. I'm okay. You can contact my mom and tell her I'm okay. And they do not have to tell you where he is at. Correct. I think he should be old enough to realize that that's just call home. Just call the number that's here. Tell the police to let you call. I mean, I know it's not against the law, but as a mother, I'm sure that after 12 years of going through this, that you just want to know that he's okay out there and that he's out there on his own and making it. And
yeah, I don't wish any, if he doesn't want any contact, I will respect that. I will 1000% respect him if that's what his wishes are. I just need an answer, just something. I'm okay. I don't want to contact you. I am fully prepared to deal with that. I truly am. I don't need to know where he's at if he doesn't want me to know. The family doesn't need to know where he's at if he doesn't want them to know. He's 32 now. I just need to know that he's breathing. He's, still with us. Or if he's not with us, it's just at 12 years, I need some answers. I need answers. It kills you mentally.
I saw where a reporter interviewed a young lady that was reported missing. She said she needed a break after leaving. Months turns into years. And when she was ready to return home, she couldn't find her family. Well, so that's why you're as well doing this, because you don't live in the same place that you used to live into, and you don't need to tell people that where you live at now. But if he wants to come and try to find you, I don't know if your regular family still lives where they did.
Yes, the whole family still lives at all their addresses. That when he left, I'm the only person that moved out of state. Moved here in 2016.
When you went to his work, and when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're just trying to find your son, you don't think about how important these details are. But when you went to did you actually physically go to his work?
Oh, yes, twice.
Okay. How did he get to work?
It was kind of like right on campus. It was only a couple mile walk from the campus where the Buffalo Wild Wings was. Okay.
And he had no car. He had no bicycle, as far as you know.
As far as I know, no. It wasn't with his belongings.
Well, it was
freshmen weren't allowed to have a car on campus unless they paid like $200 a month for it.
Yeah, but with him working and stuff, maybe his drastic change, maybe he ended up getting a car. We don't know.
Yeah. Sorry for the noise. The gentlemen are working on getting wood cut for the winter. So sorry.
You're fine. So did he leave his stuff in his dorm and just up and disappear? Yes, it appears that way. And go ahead. You can let's go back through that. So when you were given all of his stuff, it was all cut up. How did you get the note from somebody? How did that happen?
I guess from the story that we got, it was taped on his door. Evidently, it was taped on his door. And this was before I got the call that he was missing. A student took it off the door and put it in his pocket. And then once he seen the missing person flyers on the campus afterwards, then he took it to the dean and the police there on the security to let them know that David left this note. I know that sounds weird, but that's exactly how it happened. They wouldn't give me the name of the student. or anything else. How was he able to get his check cashed without that ID? Did he have a bank card? He did have a bank account. I think it was Tree Forest Bank or something Forest Bank. He closed out his bank account that I was able to find out back then in 2009. So I would have no idea. If you get to know somebody, you can cash a check anywhere. If you know somebody, that'll do it.
Did he leave his bank? His bank card was cut up with the other items.
No, the bank card, he didn't have the bank card in there. But I seen a bank statement when I was going through his things and was able to find out that he had a savings account that his check would get deposited into. But there was nothing in the account at the time I was able to check it. It was closed out.
So were you able to see his withdrawals and his his deposits and his withdrawals from the bank account, or no? Was it a large sum of money that he had, or no? It wasn't a lot of money.
No. I think it was only a couple $100. I can't remember the exact amount. It wasn't very much money. The whole situation is just fishy and wonky.
The other thing is I was on the phone with some people this morning real quick before this, and I don't know if it's possible, but because I have some people that are researching this, and my question that I had, and they're here in chat watching and listening, but the question I had is he had an academic scholarship, so he had like a full, like they paid for everything, or
everything.
He still had everything. So he didn't have to pay for his dorm. He had a meal plan already paid for. He had everything. So when he worked at Buffalo Wild Wings and was getting $200, I don't know what it was, $200 every week or whatever the money was. That was just all to him. He didn't have to. He could do whatever he wanted with that money. So he didn't have to pay for food, didn't have to do any of that because it was all right there.
No, his scholarship came with a meal plan. He got, I think it was $200 some a month on his food plan at the cafeteria.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I'm asking, so was there any student loans that were taken out in his name?
Not that I know of. I've never received anything for it or anything like that. I wouldn't know how to look for that. That one's got me stumped because I never even thought about that.
Well, so there's private loans and regular federal loans. Federal loans, obviously, they have to be paid back. But with him having a scholarship, I don't know enough about it. It just came across my mind. What if he applied for a loan, like a student grant loan, and he got $10,000, $12,000, $20,000 and disappeared? Just something that
I never thought about that at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's so many unanswered questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
Quit. Sorry, my dog's biting my toes.
Oh. Did he close the bank account himself?
The balance was zero. He did the last withdrawal. It was like, I can't remember. It was 5-6 days before or something. I can't remember. But he withdrew the rest of the money, and the account balance was at like 1 cent or 2 cents or something like that.
Oh, here we go. Juju Bones. I used to work for financial aid. It is possible. See, that's what I'm wondering is if he took out a big, huge lump sum of money because he had an academic scholarship, so he didn't need the money, But if he went and took out, because they would, when I went to school, which was a long time ago in 2003, they would give you the money, but then give you like a lump sum to be able to live off of. And you would be able to get that in the form of a check. So like he could have had a different bank account, or could have, he would have had a check in his hand for the amount. And I mean, if you only have $200, $300 on you, and that's consistent for an amount of time, that doesn't last very long. Doesn't allow you to live on your own when you have to pay rent, when you have to figure out means of transportation, when you have to buy clothes, when you have to pay for utilities, and all of that stuff. So that type of money doesn't last very long. But if you got a big lump sum of money in like a federal grant or a student loan, then you could be looking at different stuff. And the identity thing maybe changed his whole identity. We don't know. And I know it's rough if his scholarship here. So if his scholarship paid his tuition, then the rest was gave to him to manage. So would that mean, Juju, would that mean his food plan, so I'll just be blunt with it. So you got a food plan, you have free dorms. He probably was given extra spending money as well. Just that's my opinion. I do know when I went to school, I did hang out with some athletes. They did get certain amount of money back as personal travel expenses, and for when they would be on the road. So like if you're on a Greyhound bus and you're going to a football game and it's 5 hours, 7 hours away, you could get, there's extra money that was put in there while you're traveling so that you could buy whatever snacks or anything that you wanted to eat. And it was always way more than what they needed. But it does happen. Some scholarships pay for everything but books. Those books are expensive. My son had, his law book was $475. It's deposited to their account. So, okay, so then it would be deposited to their account. You didn't see any big money on his account, right?
No.
Like, no big, like everything was small dollars, like 200.
Yeah, you could tell it was you could tell it was a paycheck, working, for minimum wage. That's, what I seen, and I believe he was getting paid every 2 weeks.
Okay, but then,
he wasn't working 40 hours or anything like that. It was just, I think it was like 25 hours or something. Well, making my memory go. I know he wasn't full time because he was in school full time. So I really can't remember, but I know he was only like 20, 25 hours a week. I figured it was just to get a little bit of a spending money in his pocket.
Yeah. Well, I just asked Jody, I can't even imagine. Much respect, never giving up on your beautiful son. Thank you, AP, for being here.
Yes, thank you for joining. Thank you.
I have, if the scholarship is paid his tuition, then the rest was gave to him to manage. But then Juju came back and said it's deposited in their account, and then followed up with whatever your bill at the college is, they take out them, disperse the remaining to your account, and send a check. So what that he should have got a deposit in August, September, then sometime around January, February. So it's something to go back and take a look at. Maybe he also had another bank account.
Well, you give me something, else to look through, because that never even popped in my head, even, look at that route. So thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else that you can think of?
No, I just really appreciate you guys all streaming this. Me and my family will be eternally grateful, and all the help and the support that we've gotten. We've met some very, very good people, and they, really took to the case. And I'm hoping that we get some answers. And I thank you again for doing this stream.
You're welcome. Joe, are you there? I don't know. Joe might be in the background. I don't know if she's here. I just wanted, before we end this here, I just wanted to make sure she didn't have any more questions, because I have people that are looking into this. And anybody out there that's in chat that's watching or listening, because I know a lot of people are at work right now and a lot of people listen, or when you're done with work, there was an Illinois license that my team found, but it does not look like him, or it looks like him, but it is confirmed that Paula's already looked at it. But don't hesitate to go to the Facebook group and to post stuff, because maybe it's one that she hasn't looked at before. And if she has, so be it. Don't be discouraged. Let's continue to do our job out here. Go ahead, Joe.
Just to, spread awareness. And Paula, you have my complete support. And if there's anything I can do to help, you know how to get in touch with us.
I do. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. You have no idea. It's overwhelming, the support that getting.
That is what we are definitely here for. Is a lot of people in the online community, they need to remember that these are real families that we're talking to with real feelings, and even people behind the screens and behind the avatars. We have a heart as well, and we've got to protect our mama bears out there.
That's me. Everyone calls me Mama Tate, so that's what I've gone by for most of my life.
I like that. Oh, AP was a full ride athlete and can help answer any questions. Awesome. Thank you. Where the wind blows, there is an age enhancement program through the NCMEC and possibly NamUs. That might be something that we.
So, yeah, they're working on that now, Joe. I think I don't know if you went into the group after I sent it to you, but the other thing here is that everybody needs to understand that she filed a missing persons report 2 weeks after she did that. The police came back and said that he's fine. He was a legal adult. So if he was out there and didn't want to talk to his family for some reason, they legally don't have to tell her where her son was.
Right.
He was an adult. So the missing person and everything got canceled. All of it got canceled. All of it got put to the side. It's been 12 years since then. And she sits there and struggles with this because now she tried to do it again. When did you just try to do the last one?
Yes.
Recently,
we got
right?
the NamUs, and they said no, they won't do it. We have to file a police report in the state where he came up missing. So it's a work in progress. My sister does work a lot, but it will get done. So that way we will have an official report, and then we can officially put him back in the NamUs system and all the other missing person systems. But they will not touch it even after 12 years. No contact, no anything. They won't do it until we have a police report or police thing. Something with the police department, a new missing person report.
Yeah, well, I understand why. It's a process. It's just horrible when you get into the teenagers and then get into, I like to always say that when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you're still not a full grown adult yet. You're still under college. Some of them are out there working real jobs and living on their own, but not very many are. They're living on their own, working jobs, but going to school and stuff. And until they're done with school and out on their own and stuff is when they fully mature and fully develop. So it's like that they're still children. And it's the worst when they go missing in between that bracket, because like what you're dealing with, they could just tell you. I'm not saying that he's not out there. What I'm saying is they could just tell you that he's out there someplace and doesn't want to talk to you. But that to me seems like is out of character for him. Like,
yes,
he had no shame of coming home with tattoos and piercings and everything at Easter time. So what would be different now? There's nothing.
Exactly.
That just wants to talk to him, make sure that he's okay, and send him back on his way so that you can rest easy a little bit. And,
yeah, that would be very nice to be able to have a little peace of mind. That I can definitely say that with 100%.
And with brain development, just going back to what Levi said about at 18, 19, they're still they're a legal adult, but as far as their brain goes, the brain development goes all the way to 25.
Yes.
And so he, at 19, you still have the brain development of a child. Yes, we can all mature differently, and some mature so much faster than others.
David was very, very, very book smart. He just wasn't street smart. He was very, just not street smart wise, knowing what to do at 19, right. When he went missing.
Yeah. And if he is out there and he, just doesn't want to interact with family, we want to make sure that he has the necessary resources, that he, because there's so many resources available that people don't even know about. And, that if he's going through something, he doesn't have to do it alone.
Yes. Yes. I got myself mentally prepared, I hope, for any outcome, good, bad, or indifferent. That's why I had to wait so long until I could get to that point where I wouldn't get upset and, lose my mind and, all that stuff all over again.
Yeah.
Did he ever mention any friends in college?
No. The only friends that I know that he kept contact with before he went missing, was I can't remember their names, but they were at my apartment a few times after he went to college. I reached out to a couple of Dylan's friends whose older brothers or sisters knew David, to see if they've heard anything. I haven't heard anything back yet. So I'm hoping that, that's a avenue that I can, try to see if there was any other contact with anybody else. So far, it's come up with goose eggs on everybody that, that's involved right now.
Yeah, we will, Sunshine made a beautiful flyer for David. And, that's what we do best. Let's spread awareness far and wide. And
well, I really appreciate all of you. I do. There's just no words at all. I just appreciate each and every one of you that is, taken on to this case. But I am going to have to go here pretty soon. My puppy's running loose somewhere.
Okay. Okay. We're going to close it up here. As I always say on my channel, on Darkness Exposes channel, and on Sluggish Sleuth's channel, please hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment in the comment section, and always be kind, and make sure that if you're not subscribed to the other channels, subscribe to them. Everything helps to spread the word, to spread the awareness. And as we always say, what do you say, Joe?
If you see something, say something.
Goodbye.
All right, goodbye.